Hi, and welcome to The Update. I'm your host, Ashlyn Gervaz. This week, we'll be hearing about the Circle K Club, getting some spring break tips out there for you, and debunking some more fake news. But first, let's preview a few upcoming events at CMU and around Grand Junction. Whiskey Myers will be coming to the Warehouse 2565 on Saturday, March 18th. Whiskey Myers is a country rock band out of Palestine, Texas. The band hit #1 on iTunes for their country track, Early Morning Shakes. The show at the Warehouse will begin at 9:30, and tickets are $15 in advance or $20 at the door. To purchase tickets or to learn more about the band or the performance, you can check out the Warehouse2565.com. The Edgewater Brewery is hosting the 5th annual Western Colorado Craft Beer Celebration on Saturday. A few of the breweries who will be at the event include the Rockslide Brewery and Restaurant, Palisade Brewing Company, Glenwood Canyon Brew Pub, and many more from around the area. Tickets to the event are $20 per person and get you a glass and bottomless samples. If you're interested in attending the event, tickets can be purchased online or at the Edgewood Brewery. The Fruita Chambers is presenting the Valley Vibe Fashion Show on Wednesday, March 22nd. The showcase will be covering how Fruita and its people live, work, and play. Tickets range from $15 to $50 at the Fruita Chambers website. The Circle K Club held the Project Linus blanket making event on March 9th. The club does a lot with service in making CMU, the Grand Junction community, and the world a much better place. The club is made up of about a dozen people, and while it's small, the club is very busy. I was very impressed with the dedication of the club and its leaders. This week, I made them the feature of the segment Club Corner. Let's go now and hear about the club, Project Linus, and talk to the president Taylor Cecil and treasurer Jamie Hyatt.
My name is Jamie Hyatt, and currently I am the treasurer in Circle K.
I am Taylor Cecil, and I am the president of Circle K Club.
So the Circle K Club is kind of like an offshoot of Kiwanis, so we're like the college version of Kiwanis. Our mission is really to help the community and more specifically kids in the community. Every semester we've been doing Project Linus, which is where we make blankets for kids in the hospital.
We just try to make as many blankets as we can so that the kids in the hospital have a safety blanket, security blanket, whatever you want to say, to keep them comfortable in that kind of weird environment that a hospital is. Hopes are to make 50 blankets, and it'll be a fun time. Hopefully it'll take no time at all. It's actually Project Linus is what brought me into Circle K. Our secretary, Anna Bartlett, brought me to the first Project Linus, and it was in a room like this, tiny. There was all of 7 people in the room, making all of probably 7 to 10 blankets. Time went on and people left. I slowly inherited, I guess you could say, presidency. And I knew that I wanted to make Project Linus something that everyone knew about. And I feel like I've accomplished that with us having Project Linus in a ballroom, and I'm sure it's going to be packed.
Actually, I didn't really know what Circle K was, so I ended up just showing up to a meeting, and it was kind of like in the middle of the semester, but quickly I saw that the things that Circle K was doing were things that I would like to be associated with, things that I'd like to be involved in. And then going to the first Project Linus was really cool. Meeting time changes semester to semester. But yeah, show up. We'll have things to get you involved.
Spring break is right around the corner, which means MAPS will be traveling across the globe or staying on campus. Regardless of where the next week will take you, I have a few tips to make your spring break 2017 a great one. Tip 1. Wear sunscreen. I don't care if you're on the beach or just hanging out on the monument. Trust me, the sun is out to get you. Tip 2. Watch out for yourself and your friends. If your friend is trying to do something dumb, like yeah, that could be funny, but don't let them do it. And if your friend says they don't need sunscreen because they want to be tan, put it on them anyway. I've tried it and I just burn. You don't tan. Tip 3. Rest. I know that I'll be working 40 hours in the span of 5 consecutive days, and I'm definitely not the only one. But even if you aren't, sipping a margarita by the ocean, still find time to relax outside and get the rest and relaxation you need to come back for a second mod stronger than ever. And lastly, have fun. Don't stress about all the responsibilities that you are putting off. Whoopi Goldberg is suing over a fake news story that she claims endangered her and her family's life. UndergradNewsReport.com posted a story on March 1st claiming that Goldberg had insulted a recent widow of Navy SEAL Karen Owens. Goldberg's fabricated quote said, "She was just looking for attention. These military widows, they love their 15 minutes in the spotlight. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to go outside. I would be inside grieving." On a recent episode of The View, Goldberg claimed she had never said that. After the article, Goldberg received a lot of backlash, leading her to defend herself on the air. The author of the story, James McDaniel, said he had made the story up for laughs, but no one was laughing. McDaniels has since stopped posting stories and commented on the story in an email, writing, it might have carried on a bit longer than I was having fun. But people took the Whoopi Goldberg story so seriously and had gotten so big I thought I might as well pull the plug. Thanks for tuning in to the update this week. As usual, let's go to the most recent press conference with ASG President Ben Lindsay. Have a great spring break, Mavs. This is your host, Ashton Gerbaz, signing off.
Good afternoon, Mavericks. My name is Ben Lindsay, and I'm your student body president. Today, for our press conference, we're going to be covering what happened this past week, as well as what we're going to be going over this week. We apologize for not being able to do a conference last Friday, but many of us were out of town, and this upcoming Friday is spring break. So we won't be in town then either. So we'll go over what happened this last week, and then what we're doing now. So this past meeting was a pretty hefty meeting. We had about a 3.5 hour time or so with that meeting. We first opened it up with some public input from Sarah Swedberg, Dr. Sarah Swedberg. She is a professor from Faculty Senate. She came approaching the Associated Student Government if we would be interested in doing a joint statement regarding the recent immigration policies from the federal government. After her presentation and a discussion, the ASG decided that we would better serve the students if we took actual action on campus and provided a better environment for students to be on campus rather than make a statement. So we'll be working with that. We also had Carol Futhi come, the past VP of Academic Affairs. She came to discuss the CMU accreditation process. So she said that this process happens every 6 or 7 years or so, and it essentially accreditates the entire school and makes it a valid university in the United States. So we'll be doing that process this upcoming year. We also had several bills. So there's some bylaw changes. Our first bylaw change regarding Senate abstentions. So it was a discussion on whether senators should be able to present a bill and then also join in discussion, which can obviously cause some unbiased opportunities if the senators chose to do so, not that they would. But we decided to continue that discussion this upcoming week because it was rather lengthy and we didn't really come to a deciding factor on what we should do in that direction. We also discussed a bylaw change for Senate attendance, so how many excused absences senators can have and what that means regarding their position in the program. We also had a justice appointment. We appointed Pua Utu to the open Supreme Court justice spot. And I believe he'll be a very valuable factor and member of that team in the next coming years. As a freshman, he'll have a lot of opportunity to really have a lot of input with that group. We also had several allocation bills. The first one was 1634. It's for the Human Resources Club. We had some discussion on the plane fare for this, or airfare for this bill, and it was reduced to around $230 or so, and that went to conference committee. We were able to test the new Senate powers of floor amendments and the Senate floor rather than just FAC. So that was a fun experiment, and we look forward to being able to do that in the future. We also saw Bill 1635 for the Council for Exceptional Children student chapter. We gave them $900 to send them to an expo in Boston, Massachusetts on April 18th and April 23rd. So they received that full funding for that. We also saw a Bill 1636 for the engineering club. They came asking for $4,954.57 to go to the Formula SAE competition in Jackson, Michigan. They do this trip every year. Essentially, they build their own race car and take it to Michigan or wherever the race is this year. and compete. And so it's a great opportunity for students to really get involved in that industry. We've had offers, or students have received offers from GM and Ford because of this event. So we're really excited to help the engineering club go to that in the coming month of May. Also, at the meeting, we also discussed rules and regulations for the upcoming elections. So we went over campaign financing to where if any candidate received a donation from any group, that they had to disclose which group that was, and that information would be provided to the press on campus. This is to prevent any outside groups from having an influence or strong influence on our elections. So, for example, at OSU, they had some donations to the candidates influencing or strongly promoting a certain political party. So we don't want that to occur on this campus, so we just want to make it more honest and open for the students to see what's going on. That's what happened this past week. In our meetings with John Marshall and Foster this week, we discussed the upcoming trustee meeting on March 30th. And so we will be going over and approving all of the budgets. So the trustees will be approving the budgets for this upcoming year. That's including the tuition increases as well as fee increases, which we still don't know a number at this moment. But we will also be approving the budget that the fee allocation committee went through this past year as well. So we're excited for that to come to a close. We also talked about the current topics of diversity on campus and how we can best serve our students. And I know after the last meeting, some of the senators got together and decided that our best option is to really work with CDB to see how we can create a collaborative effort on this campus to make students feel more involved, more inclusive, and not fear coming to this campus. And so we're hoping to meet with CDB this upcoming week. I've reached out to them, and I'm hoping that they respond and have a time to meet so that we can really come together and create something on this campus. With that, we've also, in the past couple of months, we've provided them with, or allowed them to pull $30,000 from their reserves for their upcoming Unity Fest, as well as bringing a speaker to campus or a performing artist, the recent Grammy Award winner, and alumni from our campus. And so we're excited that they'll be able to utilize that allocations and reserves to really put on a big event for the students revolving around unity and inclusivity. So with that being said, I know I may not be the most approachable guy being a white heterosexual male, but I really want anybody on this campus to know that ASG is a group that really works for you. We want to be seen as a group that you can come to if you have any problems or you fear anything on this campus. And like I said earlier, we really want to work with CDB to ensure that all students feel as though they belong on this campus. So please come to my office hours. My cell number is posted on my office door. We also have any of the other executives are very approachable. Jake Carmen, Carly Hanley, Jake Wellborn, Brooke Houston. So we all want to work for our students, but in order for us to do that, we have to hear from you. Last but not least, we also have our intent forms closing this Wednesday for the upcoming elections. The voting for those elections will take place April 12th to the 14th. And like I said earlier, intent forms close this Wednesday. So if you're interested in being a senator or running for the trustee position or the president or vice president position, those forms are going to be due Wednesday. And there is a meeting that you must attend before you can start campaigning. And this upcoming week, we don't expect to see too much, with it being the week before spring break. Everybody's kind of ready to get out of here. But it looks like we'll be seeing some interior allocations for potential tables for the upcoming luau with the CDB. So we hope that we can get most, if not all, of ASG there to help support that fellow group on campus. With that being said, is there any questions for me? Alrighty. Like I said earlier, there's not going to be a press conference this Friday, so if you have any questions, either comment on this video on Facebook or come to my office hours, so send me an email, and I'll be happy to reach back to you. But again, thank you for CMU-TV for offering their space and their time and their professionals. And so, that being said, have a safe week, and thank you all for being Mavericks.